we should focus on the successes that our armed forces are recording.
They have done well, very, very well.
Some people, if they offer them all the money in the world, they won't join the armed forces because they don't want to die. They want to continue to enjoy life. But these are people put their lives on the line, just for us to be safe. And all our people can do is to try to belittle them and say all kinds of nasty things. But going back to what happened, the armed forces work together on this project, if I can call it this project. The Navy's Special Forces team were involved, the Air Force were involved, the Army was involved, the Vigilantes were involved, and the DSS, because this was an intelligence-led operation. The DSS played a key part, a very pivotal role in this whole thing, because it knew that the intelligence that it provides was critical to the success of the operation. So the army started with a clearance operation. From the first day, they had been there in that bush trying to assert their dominance of the area. Our soldiers encircled them, effectively blocking reinforcement and any form of escape. Because if they had their way, they would have taken these children through that forest, because that forest shares boundary with Kainji. They will have taken them all the way to Niger. Yes, it stretches. That same forest stretches even into Benin Republic. It's a 2,500 square kilometer forest stretching through 10 local governments in Oyo State alone. And it borders Niger through Kainji. So they knew that if these people were able to take those children across, it would be difficult. So from the get-go, the Nigerian forces, led by the two division in Ibadan, General Chinedu Nebuife, as you said earlier, cordoned off the area, encircled them, and after the encirclement, they then began what we call the strangulation operation. They cannot receive supplies from
outside.
Yes, from their logistics people. They cannot bring in reinforcement to strengthen them against the armed forces. So since they had them surrounded, they then began the blocking operation. So these guys knew that they had nowhere to go, and the blocking position that our soldiers took made life unbearable for them.
You arrested their logistics people.
So now, where do you go? After that, when they saw what happened the first day, when they used IEDs to kill some of the soldiers who wanted to rescue these children, our troops knew that they had mined the usual routes leading into that place. So they had to carve out different routes through which their heavy machinery and multi-terrain vehicles can go deep into that place. Because if you use the usual routes, chances are that you step on IEDs and there will be casualties. So to avoid that, they have to use separate routes. Routes that those guys were not familiar with. They have to come in so that they can go further into that place. In this operation, soldiers were lost. I spoke with my friends in the army, and they confessed to me that they lost their men. Soldiers don't quickly admit that they lose their people. But talking to someone who is close to them, who goes out with them, they admitted to me that they lost men. And it's painful to them that in an operation where they lost people, some Nigerians are deceiving themselves that, oh, there was no confrontation. They admitted that on different days they had confrontations. So they began with the clearing operation. You can't have clearing operation and say that there's no confrontation. Of course, they confronted these boys from the beginning. And then what the DSS did, once the DSS saw that these guys had made up their mind to slaughter out these children if the military gets close, they then went after members of their own families. Remember this group. The DSS arrested Abu Bara, the leader of this group, on May 9, 2025. That arrest and the subsequent arrest of Mahmouda, who succeeded him by the same DSS, and commendation from America. We even discussed it here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those guys were on the list of wanted international terrorists that the Americans themselves had been tracking. Because this Ansaru, this group is linked to Al-Qaeda. So once the DSS arrested those two guys, the Americans were happy and they commended Nigeria for our efforts in the war against terror. So now, after the arrest of those two guys, the guy who took over as the leader of the group carried out this operation not for ransom. I said it on this program a long time ago. They were not asking for ransom. They were saying, release our commanders in your hands. Release our leaders in your hands. If you release them, we'll let these guys go. Or let these guys go, these kids go. But you can't have an America helping you to fight terror. America helping you to kill terrorists. And then that same America will see you releasing terrorists. They cannot. This was a choice that our president was not ready to even contemplate. In the past, we would have released those commanders and bomb makers to them. But the president said, no way. Remember that statement that Baron Onanuga issued, that we will not release any commander. And to show them that we were not planning to release their leaders, they put Abu Bara on trial. They put him on trial. In fact, his plea was taken. So for them to know that rather than release him, we are actually prosecuting him, and if he gets the death penalty, he's going. So now they were already, because where they are, even in the bush, they are tracking information. So they were already disillusioned that we had gone, that the DSS had gone from town to town picking members of their families. They went to Michigan in Adamawa State to pick members of the family of the current leader of this Ansaru group. They went to Kaduna State to pick members of the family, wife, mother, children. They picked them. And after picking them, they recorded them and then played the video. They sent the video to them. Where they are, they can also watch. Yes. These boys, a lot of them have Starlink.
Giving them their own poison.
For them to realize what it feels like when their own people lose their freedom.
That's it.
So with the videos of those guys, their family members, they told them, if you touch these people,
we'll touch these ones too.
We will slaughter members of your family too. We are not joking with you. Now, they gave them an ultimatum. This is not a story that many Nigerians have had. They gave a 72-hour ultimatum for them to release those children or face the worst from our armed forces. They were still acting tough. Seeing that, okay, they may now lose everything. At a point, they were saying, no, even if you cannot release all our leaders, just release a few for us so that they can come out of this feeling that they won the war, not just the battle. You know, just the same way Iran and US, everyone wants to look like he won the battle, whereas they are making us to suffer in terms of high fuel prices. Bunch of people don't know what they are doing. Now, they now start saying, okay, give us a few of those, our people. We will agree, we will release these children. If you can't do that, then give us some money. They said, no, we are not interested in negotiating with you. Those leaders, we will not release one of them.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep these children, then be ready for war.
Be ready for the worst.
After 72 hours ultimatum, we descended on them like paratroopers. During that period, many of them fled. These people, when they see real fire, they don't wait. They are cowards. This is what I've said repeatedly. So they fled in different directions, and we began to mock up those children. But in the process, the DSS, who are part of the war, of this battle, as well as the Navy's special forces personnel, they made arrests. Now people are saying, why have they not released pictures of the people that they've arrested? The DSS position is, when we go on this kind of operation and we make arrests, it's not everybody that is guilty.
That's it.
The person that they have conscripted to come and fight on their side, the person that they have grabbed and said, okay, come and cook for us. Do you know sometimes Boko Haram will even kidnap doctors or midwives who will now be helping?
Attending.
Yes. So they need those midwives to help train their own women so that they can now be birth attendants. For example, Leah Sharibu, who is in their hands, has been trained now as a midwife. So the DSS's argument is that it's not everybody that we see that we can conclude that they are terrorists. We need to profile them. Once we finish profiling, we will then take them to court. As I speak to you, the DSS and the DPP, Director of Public Prosecution, they are already speaking on the right time to put the people that they have arrested on trial. So those who want to say, oh, there was no confrontation, this is something that was planned by the APC, because they lost face. There were people who told us that this is another Chibok. This has not become another Chibok for our country, and we give God the glory. Before their eyes, they will see the same people being put on trial. People have lost their lives. In fact, one of the because police too were involved in this, the mobile police, a police officer who was one of the leaders of the operation, he regretted that he lost one of his men. There had been confrontation from day one. Lives had been lost. I was speaking to one of the senior army. He said, see, if we tell you about some of the men that we have lost over this matter, you will weep for us. Yet, some people, because this has not happened the way they wanted it, they are saying, oh, there was no confrontation, they paid ransom. Are you the one who delivered the ransom? Are you the one who paid? Or is this from your bank that they took money to pay ransom?
Okay, Dotun, at least the sum total of it is to say, glory be to God.
Glory be to God. Yes, and commend yes, they did well. If the intelligence had failed,
that would have been the end.
That would have been the end for those 44 people that were rescued. It didn't fail, and we got it.
And nobody's life was lost in the operation.
So this is where we apply the brakes, but not before thanking BKO for your intervention.
Thank you.
Thank you.